Alright, so in this video, what I'm hoping to be able to do is achieve the same kind of hello world result that we did with the Visual Studio project, where we just kind of created file new and ran the app on HoloLens and saw what it looked like. And I want to do a similar thing in Unity and see if I can deploy just a regular app to the HoloLens. And what I'm going to do differently this time is I have a project that we received from the HoloLens course at Build. And so this contains a couple of assets, actually a large collection of assets, including the Holo Toolkit, which is another collection of tools, prefabs, and stuff. Kind of solves a lot of the problems for you so that you don't have to build a lot of this yourself. And specifically, I think the most important one here is the camera, which will basically represent you as the HoloLens wearer, or the person wearing the HoloLens. So I'm going to go ahead and open that project, and I will use it as a base project, hopefully going forward. And then if I end up corrupting the project, then I'll just unzip it again and make a new one. But for now, we'll go ahead and import it. And so this version is different than the one from which it was built. So I'll go ahead and continue and let that import all of the assets and update the project. So this is going to take a while, so I'll go ahead and pause and come back. Okay, great. So we are now loaded. And I think the first thing that I remember that we needed to do was to go ahead and delete the camera, because although we can use this camera, there is already one that is pre-built for specific use with the HoloLens in the Holo Toolkit. So that is under Assets, Holo Toolkit, Prefabs, and underneath that is Camera, and there is a main camera. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy out, and I think I'm going to go ahead and take the light out as well for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to need that, but I think I will remove it for now, as I don't recall that. I do recall having a blank canvas, so I may be wrong about that, but we'll see. So if we select the main camera, the most obvious thing that I notice is the background being black, which is important for the HoloLens, as everything that is black in the HoloLens camera renders essentially transparent. So this represents the world, the real world, that is the world that you see when you take off the HoloLens. And then the objects that are rendered within that are not black are the ones that you will actually see projected through the HoloLens device into your world. So in addition to the camera, there's a wide assortment of additional tools, including holograms, that we can place into our world. So here we've got the camera facing out this way in the Z direction. So I'm going to take the energy hub control, that hologram, I'm sorry, and I'm going to go ahead and place this into the world as well. And what I want to do is I want to pull this a little bit forward, and you can see it coming into view here. This obviously below represents the view for the camera, and so I'll pull it into view and maybe lower it just a tiny bit. And awesome. So now we have a device. We have a game object, energy hub, with a hologram that hopefully will be represented in our emulator. So I'll go ahead and play this. I don't know if the audio of this is going to come out, but it's making some cool little music and sounds, as well as dispersing these little triangles into the air. So my goal is to hopefully see this same thing inside of Visual Studio, or rather inside of the HoloLens emulator. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and save this scene and call it Hello Scene. And I next want to go to Build Settings, which I am going to now target Windows Store, and the SDK I want is Universal 10, and the build type I want is DirectT 3D, since we're going to be working with 3D, obviously. And I believe I need to also check the Unity C# projects. And what I want to do is that, of course, I need to add the scene here. And I believe that's it. So I'm going to hit build, and we'll see what happens. I need to specify a location for the project, and I'll go ahead and place that in app, in a folder called app, rather. We'll select that folder and let it do its thing. Okay, Okay, looks like we have our project generated as well as a solution. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up into Visual Studio. And this is interesting. This happened to me last time. I created the project and it created a solution outside of the app folder, and then it created another solution inside of the app folder. And when I open this shared holograms project, it contains the solution that I want for Unity, and not the other two solutions that I need for Unity. So these two solutions and the shared hologram solution should be in the same project. Now, interestingly, while this is loading, I can see that this project that was inside the app folder does contain the C# projects that I expected, as well as the shared holograms project. So I suspect that I don't know why this project got generated, other than perhaps to be copied in via some kind of build settings. But without knowing for sure why that's happening, I can't really say. But what I am going to do is go ahead and close this one because it does not contain the project that I want. And this one I'm going to go ahead and build and see if I can get a successful build. Okay, so already we're having some issues. Oh, I know what's wrong. This also got me a couple of times when we were messing with this. First thing you want to check is make sure that you are in x86, as the emulator does run on x86. And this should also switch you to the local machine, which we are not going to be using. We're going to be using the emulator, and then hopefully soon we will be able to remote into the device. But for now, we'll use the emulator, and let's try this build again, and hopefully we'll have better luck this time. Excellent. Build succeeded. Build succeeded. So hopefully that'll be a good lesson for anybody watching. Definitely make sure you switch your platform to x86, and that looks good to go. So what we really want to do is see if this thing runs. So let's kick off the emulator and see if we don't get our hologram sitting right in front of us. While that builds and launches, I'm going to go ahead and connect my Xbox One controller. Great. Fired up the emulator. Good sign so far. All right, start menu fired up. Looks like it did some spatial mapping, and it should be launching our demo app shortly as soon as it installs it, deploys it rather to the emulator. Oh, here we go. Got a splash screen, great sign. I hear some sounds, and there is our hologram. Excellent. I really hope the music comes out on the video. If not, I'll see if I can figure that out for next time. But while this was loading, I did plug in my Xbox One controller, as I was super excited to discover that this is actually supported. So I can actually kind of move in and out with it, which would represent me as the user kind of moving my head around. And so I can kind of try and figure out, I can kind of turn my head sideways, back and forth, move down and up, in and out, and then left and right. You can also tap with this, but we don't have obviously a cursor on this, so that is not going to function. But hey, this looks like a success to me. If I go forward, can I get inside the guy? Yep, sure can. You can see the triangles being generated. Very, very neat. Awesome. So it looks like we have a successful run here. I was able to get this launched up. Lose this thing. Okay. So great. Awesome. That is a successful round 2 for 2. 2 Hello World projects all set up. So I think that gets the very basic side of the way. The next thing, let me go ahead and stop this as the music is quite distracting. The next step, I guess, is to just really dive in and start making this thing do stuff. So what I'm hoping to do in the next video and in future videos is to dive a little deeper with Unity and start to accomplish actual things. I'd like to be able to go into the asset store, download some items into a scene. I would like to be able to interact with items in that scene, both via the HoloLens input, that is either me as the camera colliding with or triggering items in the world, as well as using the gaze to select items in the world, and then finally to see how those items, those holograms that are in the world can then interact with the real world around me, which, as we saw, is represented by the spatial mapping that happens here on launch in combination with the rooms that are available to the emulator. So lots of stuff to play with, definitely, and hopefully you'll join me and learn a little something too, as we did today. And if there's anything you'd like to see, or if you have any tips for me, I am all ears, as I'm learning this right alongside everyone else, and I am definitely eager to hear more about what you are doing and what can be done with this device, and I'll share my progress as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.